as you attempt to make up your mind about who to vote for. We're 48 hours away from the opening of the ballot, and some of you are sending your answers through. Let me read a couple of them before we get Lois in on the conversation. So this one says, "Good morning, Joy FM. I will vote based on the economy, because I live in Aflao and the exchange rate keeps on escalating. The city continues to lose value. Can you imagine? It takes 27 Ghana cedis to get 1,000 CFA. It's too bad." And that's from Wilson. I've got one here from Victor in DC. He says, "Good morning." He said, "Good morning, Winston. What would influence my decision will be rent, honesty of politicians, and basic needs of life. For example, food, water, and electricity." This one from Abraham, who writes from Sogakoper, says, "I have carefully considered the options available to us, and I've decided that Ghana must take a break, make a break from the corruption, the economic mismanagement, and the arrogance being exhibited by this government. I want change, and I believe it is the best for this country." Here's one more. "Kojo, we agree with you." I think this is the thing about the transformational leaders. "Kojo, we agree with you, but these leaders are elected, and who elects them? Do we vote for transformational leaders? We only vote parties and slogans. We are as guilty as those we elect. Let's be the change we want." And that's BB talking in North Kanishi. Lois.
Yes, sir.
These first-time voters, what's on their minds?
Thank you once again. But we've done 10 episodes of Just Turned 18.
10 already?
Yes, 10.
Wow.
And you've seen the start of it, because we had conversations even before we got into it. And the main reason we put this together is to get the pertinent issues that will influence the decision of the first-time voter. Speaking to them, 10 episodes it's been, the topmost conversation, or what was said most, dominating our conversations, were issues on education, on land degradation, and then also on, have I said education already?
Yeah,
and unemployment.
Right.
So employment issues.
Jobs,
yes,
education.
Yes.
And land. So would that include Galamsey?
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
Jobs, education, Galamsey. What else?
So there were many, but these are focused. So
top three.
Yes, most of them also felt like they weren't included in the whole political scene and in governance as well. Also, there are so many things that they've said, but these were the topmost ones. When we pick education, what did they really want? Most of it was on the free SHS policy. Most of them feel that it could be better. We had a full episode only for that, and I'll take you through some of the things that came out of that conversation. For free SHS discourse, we spoke to people who have been through the process. We spoke to persons living with disability who have also enjoyed free SHS as well, and then we spoke to people who are on the street. So when I say people on the street, I'm speaking about the headquarters on the street who have also enjoyed the free SHS policy, and they told us some of the things that have come out from it. So we take some. So in the free SHS discourse, majority believe that the policy has been taken away, or has taken away some of the financial burden from their parents. So they are not disputing the fact that it has helped.
Right. Good.
It has. It has really helped the parents, even some of the children, because they've also told us that if free SHS didn't come, they are not sure they would have been able to go to school. Right. Yes. So it has taken away the financial burden. But issues of infrastructure deficits. They went to school, they didn't have proper infrastructure to sit under. They didn't have classrooms to sit under. Even when you say, or classrooms to sit in, even their dormitories, it wasn't enough for them. So they ended up in a room that is supposed to take maximum 10, was taking 20. So it was very uncomfortable for them. Mind you, they have already said how good it was. We are not paying. I mean, who doesn't want free? But the fact that they had to maneuver, it was very uncomfortable. They didn't have enough structure. Also, they spoke about food. According to them, free SHS, they are not fed better. And they know this because they've spoken to people who didn't enjoy the free SHS. And they have told them, oh, during our time, we had good food. We were given 3-course meals. Now, I told you we spoke to headquarters. Those who enjoyed these policies ended up telling us that, oh, they have enjoyed it all right. But in school, they didn't even have the policy given them, or under the free SHS policy, they didn't have enough to eat, you know, which is very sad on their part. Also, some of them told us that the results have been withheld because people were not even coming to class. Their teachers weren't coming to class as they expected.
So the quality of teaching,
exactly,
they feel was not good.
Yes, yes. So I told you we had a full conversation with 8 of them who have enjoyed it. At the end of the day, 37.5% want the policy to be demolished. In fact, abolished. They don't
You're kidding me?
Yes.
37.5%
yes,
of them
out
want
of the 8,
free SHS to be stopped.
Yes, at once. They don't want to hear anything of it because they feel it hasn't served its purpose. Out of that same conversation, 12.5% want the policy to be maintained.
Right.
So others wanted to also be reviewed. So even though some people think that, okay, it didn't serve its right, others think that, oh, it's a good thing. It helped our parents, it helped ourselves, and also we can just make it better. For the persons with disability, they are hoping that they get free tertiary institution. So when it comes to education, they want better quality education. The fact that they can step into their classrooms, have their teachers in there teaching full hours without any breaks is what they're expecting.
That's fascinating. So really, only about 12.5% of the people you spoke to came to the conclusion that it's okay as it is.
Yes, it is.
The rest of them either want it gone or want it improved.
Yes, yes. So a huge chunk of them wants it. But as I was saying, it's interesting because you get to hear that, okay, at least they still want the policy. They don't say, they never disputed it. They never said, oh, it's not a good policy. It's a good policy. They like it. Yeah. They are reaping from it. But the fact that there are some things that they want to change. Right. Can it be improved? Can they go to the classroom and have their teachers in there the whole day? Because these headquarters tell you that the reason they're not even continuing school is because they are not sure they're well equipped. They didn't learn much in SHS. Because they go to classrooms, their teachers don't come at all. And when you ask, they're like, oh, we're not even being paid well, you know? Yeah. So yes, these are things that first-time voters raised. And yes.
Right. So that's on education.
Yes.
They also cared about jobs.
Yes, they do.
And about Galamsey.
Yes, they do.
Let's talk about jobs. What were the main things that were on their minds?
When it comes to jobs, most of them feel like there's a lot of nepotism in our system. They end up going to school, come back, and then instead of them getting jobs that they feel they deserve, they are let go of. So they're at home. They're not getting proper jobs to do. And they're not really even being encouraged to get into startup business, to even start up their own initiatives. So according to them, more employment, they should create employment for them in many of the sectors, especially when it comes to technology now. You know, most of our first-time voters, or in this new current state we find ourselves, when it comes to technology, and a lot of people are really involved in it, especially our youth. It's taught everywhere in Ghanaian schools, and they're really excited about it. They want more avenues to show what they've learned. Right. They're tired of just the when you go to school, they call that, you see, we have practicals and then we have what we do, the theory. When you learn the theory and you're not able to show what you've done, what was the use then? Right. Yes, so employment, they do want more employment opportunities, and that even leads into the land degradation, especially Galamsey. Most of them are saying if they had sustainable jobs, they wouldn't be doing Galamsey. I mean, you're given money to sit in an office space. You'll be able to do what you want to do. Also, some of them, funny enough, has said it's not only the office spaces that they're looking at. You know, there's so many ways they can get work to do. There's so many things, even hand jobs. Just make sure that you create the avenue. You know, for the headquarters we spoke to, they had been promised time and time again that they were going to be given jobs. Even on the streets of Circle, we spoke to some of the young boys and girls sleeping on the streets, and they'll tell you they've been promised by numerous parties, especially elections. They don't hear anything till it's elections. You see political parties going there trying to speak to them, saying, when we come and give you jobs, we'll take you off the streets. They come into power and nothing happens. So these first-time voters on the streets are saying that until they're given jobs, until they're promised that, okay, when we come into power, we'll give you sustainable jobs to do, we are not voting. Right. But we had to remind them that it is their, civic responsibility to vote, and then to get them to understand that, they should pay attention to the policies that would, solve all these issues for them, so that they can move from there.
Right. So Galamsey, how was Galamsey influencing the choices of first-time voters?
I mean, we're in Ghana. Just last month or two, we had youth going around fighting because, Kojo, you see, when our land is destroyed, it doesn't only affect parents, it affects the youth as well. You understand? So youth understand that these things are very key. I mean, our forest body, our forest reserves are getting destroyed. Our water bodies are getting. I spoke to a person living with a disability, visually impaired, who said he's even scared of the water he's drinking because he can't see. You know, he can't see the water to say, okay, this is clean, this is not clean. Some are even scared that very soon we'll start importing water from outside, which is scary. So the youth wants Galamsey to be stopped, illegal mining to be stopped, so we can get our waters looking good, our forest reserves good. So when it comes to land degradation, until it's changed, most of them have listed it as a very key issue as to why, or issue that would influence a decision in the voting booth.
It's fascinating stuff. And of course, the series went through 10 episodes.
Yes.
Is there more to come, or are we done?
The
election is 2 days away,
yes.
right?
Unfortunately, we are done. But just last month, we had a simulation, exercise for first-time voters to make sure that we teach them the right ways to get in there. We had reps.
How did that go?
Oh, it went well. It went well. We had it at the University of Ghana, but it was Youth Bridge Foundation that put it together for them. And we had a lot of first-time voters coming in to exercise. And, people had misconceptions about it. And to see that when they came, all these misconceptions were taken away, they learned the proper way. And they are really excited to, cast their ballot.
It's going to be exciting. And for the first time, we're going into an election with a much, much clearer idea of what these first-time voters have on their minds.
Because this year it's already estimated that over 700,000 first-time voters will be voting. So using, just under 18 to hear the voices of these first-time voters this year, I think it was good. It was very good because we've had a lot of them reach out to us saying they've heard a lot of things that they're excited about.
Beyond telling you about policies, were they convinced? Did they say they were likely to be influenced to vote based on ethnicity, based on religious affiliation, and those sort of things?
Yes. So, especially in our first 3 episodes, we tackled that because we've heard most of them came out to say, this time they do not want to toe the line of the parents. So that's where ethnicity and religion comes in. They have seen for themselves. I'm telling you that this year proved to me that really first-time voters are ready to exercise their, for the first time. They are for the first time, because these people told us that they are not looking at ethnicity. Most of them, those we spoke to, said they are not looking at ethnicity, they are not looking at religion, they are looking at only policies to vote, because they realize that their parents end up saying, I'm voting for this person regardless
because
of how
born into
my mom said
party.
Exactly. Well, some of them even told me their mom said you have to vote for this party, and that is it. It's final. It's not up for discussion. So far as I'm this party, you are definitely this party. But they understood and told us that no, this time they are not willing to do that because things must change in their favor.
Mostly first-time voters are disruptors. They don't like status quo. They want to make real change because of the idealism with which they think they can impact politics of the period. Are your people thinking in that direction? Is that how they think? Are they people who are willing to vote for strange or extraordinary candidates? I mean, I'm using these words to yes,
I because yes, they are. As I said, these people are listening. You may think they are not. That's what I want everyone to understand. That this year, if there's anything I learned personally on grounds, is the fact that these first-time voters are listening. They are going beyond the ordinary. So, because I don't want to politicize this, I'll just say they are looking beyond their extraordinary. So on a regular day, if you say, I will come in and give you jobs, and people would have been okay. This time they're looking at, when the jobs come, what type of jobs are you creating?
Okay.
So they're looking beyond this and looking at extraordinary, I can tell you. Perfect.
Now, I mean, maybe specifically, is a first-time voter likely to vote for Cheddar or choose NPP or NDC?
Well,
As in, I'm putting MPP and NDC together, established political parties,
Yes.
established political history.
Against the new-
known. Yes,
Yes.
duopoly. Against somebody who's entirely new and an independent candidate by all standards and qualifications.
well, some of them, because also we didn't want to make it partisan, we didn't get them saying, but per the policies they raised, I can tell you for a fact that there are some that are looking at a new party
Okay.
like Cheddar, because
Okay.
they've heard that, oh, he says when he comes he's going to do this for us, against what we normally hear. And also because these first time voters are tired of I don't want to say tired, but probably they've also seen to enough of the two major political parties, and they're open to seeing more from another political party, because as I said, these people have seen their parents constantly stay with these two major political parties, and they, to them, there still hasn't been any change. So how about we change and see what the new political party has for us? So they are looking beyond it. I can tell you for a fact that they are looking beyond it.
Generally, do they show signs that they are fed up with democracy?
Not democracy, but most of them said it looks like the country is slowly becoming a two-party state. So it's not democracy they have a problem with.
Okay.
It's the fact that why is it that we are not giving other political parties the chance? Because I mean, aside these two, there are others, and every time we look on the ballot sheet, it's not only the two parties that are there. There are other political parties, so why aren't we choosing them? So I won't say they are fed up of democracy. They are just slowly praying that the country or the state doesn't become a two-party state.
Do they think their politicians are accountable to them?
No,
They don't think so.
they don't. Accountability is one of the biggest, also one of the things they raised, that they don't feel that they are accountable enough. One of them said, the taxpayers' money, we don't know where it goes. So all the time we hear taxpayers' money. Where is it? They are not accountable. They feel they are not accountable, and also they don't even feel, as I was telling Kojo, that they are involved
Okay.
in the whole political process and in governance. They don't feel like they are involved. The persons living with disability also spoke about that there's been very few persons with disability who have assumed these roles in governance. Very few. It's very few, which is not even encouraging to them. So for instance, if she is growing up and saying, oh, I want to assume this role, and she goes back to look and sees, oh, it's only 2 or 3 people that have assumed these positions, it doesn't give her confidence to say one day I can get there.
Generally, were they satisfied with the tailor-made policies directed at young people?
Yes, they were, but they're hoping that also there'll be more, because they feel like 4 years ago they had the same tailor-made policies, and I mean, it's good, all right, but what can be done? What are some of the things that can be done to make it extra? There's more they're looking at.
Well, it's been fascinating. We're going into this election with a very, very clear idea of what this particular demographic has on their minds, and it's all thanks to you and your team, Lois, and we're grateful to you for that. And of course, we'll be keeping you close so that you can give us more of these insights as the results start pouring in throughout our election coverage.
Yes, please.
Lois Adeyemi, host of Just Turned 18.